Welcome to the Fulfillment OB podcast. And today we're talking about why rest is not the same thing as recovery. I want you to follow me to the end of this episode because you will learn something that will not only help you, but will free you from the unnecessary burden and pressure. Let's get into the episode.
The Fulfillment OB podcast.
You are exhausted, not tired, exhausted. Feels like you've been running for months. Constant output, pushing, working harder than everyone, being present at every meeting, carrying everything on your shoulder with no time off. Even if you take the time off, you don't feel as if you have rested. While you are successful on paper, while business is moving smoothly, you are hollowed on the inside. You feel terrible exhaustion. And the worst part is that the off switch is broken. You don't know how to rest, recover, or stop. Here's what your daily life might look like. After I've talked with a lot of visionaries and high performers who have been in the same shoes as you. You wake up at 5 a.m. The first thing you check is your phone. Look at the schedule for the day. You look at what happened yesterday. Have this person been able to execute this properly? Is this settled? Have this person closed this deal? Your mind have already started to work before your feet touch the ground. Throughout the day, you are in a loop of meetings, trying to fix this and that, carrying everything on your shoulder. You come back 6-7 p.m. and you are exhausted. You do this for 3-4 months and you are depleted, not just exhausted. And you say to yourself, let me just take a time off. Let me take a week off. And in those weeks, you sleep, you even go for vacation, but you come back to the same pressure. Nothing is fixed. This is a dangerous thing to do. It have adverse effects. Let's look at how it's going to affect your leadership, your life, and your business long term. So the real problem is not that you're not resting enough. It is that you're confusing rest for recovery. When you continue to output 100% every time, you train your nervous system to mistake high output for productivity. So exhaustion becomes your baseline, which will have a negative effect on your health, negative effect on your relationship. It will have a negative effect on your team and your business. Because think about it, when you continue to work under pressure, continue to work in a constant state of urgency, what happens is that no matter how many days you take off, nothing gets fixed. This happens because of some specific hidden structures you set in place that you can't really see. So let's look at what is really going on deeply. First of all, you are able to disconnect from the business or the company. You have become the pillar of the business, so stepping away seems like failure. So like message, quick meetings, quick fixes, you get calls here and there. So even if you are resting, you are not recovering because you are still running business. And that is because you have built the wrong leadership structure. Another thing is that your team begin to learn to see pressure as productivity, which will affect them long term during executing. When they see that the leader is unable to rest and truly recover, everything becomes blurry. It also affects your business like this. You need to recover to be able to observe your business. You need to step away from the machine, step away from the business, from the company, to see where your system is failing so you can fix it. You working in a constant state of urgency and pressure will not give you the luxury to see things as they truly are, which will keep you in a loop of making wrong decisions that will compound over time till it become a fire you have to put out, and it may be too late by then. Now, here is the difference between rest and recovery. Rest is something passive. Recovery, on the other hand, is something active. It's something you deliberately do. You take the time off and you ask yourself, what part of me needs to recover? My mental health, my body, my mind, my soul, my spirit. So it might mean you taking the deliberate step to eating healthy, trying to nourish your physical energy, doing a medical checkup or a health test, having good conversations with friends and family that can disconnect you from the business. And this is not possible if the leadership pillar in your business or your leadership is broken. The leadership pillar help us to understand that every leadership must be built on strong delegation. You need to be able to step away from the business so the business can flourish. Building a business where you are the center of everything is not only bad for you, it is bad for the business long term. So you must first fix the leadership leak, then take the decision to practice active recovery. So you don't need more motivation, you don't need better sleeping habit, you need to learn how to recover your energy, recover yourself, so that when you come back to the business, you will only be focused on the things that will really push the company or the business forward. If this is something you will experience over time, you are unable to recover, not just rest, I'm talking about sleep, you're unable to recover, then what you need is the Fulfill Leadership Audit. It's a 90-minute diagnostic tool that will help us to pinpoint where your leadership system is failing. To get access to it, please check the description for the link so that you can begin to diagnose, know exactly what is failing, and map out a plan to fix it. If you enjoyed the 5 minutes daily episode, you might want to consider listening to the deep dives, which is available on Patreon. So the link to the deep dives episode will also be available. And finally, if what we've talked about today is something you know, break and recover, send this episode to them. If you find this episode valuable, please share, subscribe, and favorite this episode. Tomorrow we'll look at something else that will help you lead better, live better, and build something great. Thank you so much. This is your host once again, Fulfillment Obi, and I'll see you